I don't know what's going on. Once again, right as I go live, dogs barking, cat flew in. What is going on? I don't like my life. I don't. There's, I was so amazed at that comment that I read a couple of nights ago with somebody saying we all have the same experience. We just process it differently. Holy shit. Hey, I don't want to talk too much about Bandit. I saw a comment where somebody said the good thing is that you have closure. I didn't want closure that way. Because and I won't go into graphic detail, but she was clearly dead for a long time. And so, no. She had the most beautiful eyes of any cat I've ever known. One detail. Her eyes were gone. I didn't want closure that way. Because I am just trying to get the image out of my head. So, let's just move on, okay? Let's just keep trudging forward. Hello, Lindy London, TFL at War. Andrew Cruz and Autumn Minnick. Sherry Hughes, thank you very much. T. Lamb, Mark Williams, Jay Northrup. Oracle 11, Rick Yorkin, hi, Cynthia Johnston, and Tenna and Jay Wooms, Mike Love, Donnie, Donna Davidson, Haskasan. So now I know. Hi. Yeah. Hypocrites Matrix, Tony Putin. Lorena. Elizabeth Rivard, hi. De La Victoria. So let's just jump right on in, shall we? What should we start with? What I consider to be the most important. Oh, this guy? Really?
I don't know, except to say that by the time these lawsuits are decided, we'll have digital God. So I have to ask digital God at that point. These lawsuits won't be decided before on a time frame that is relevant.
But is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm so sick of this. Come on. Jesus. Oh well. Played fine all day. Go live, and suddenly, what? Okay. Can't even stop it. Digital God. Okay, that's coming our way. And, okay, this is not the article that I had set up, but fine. Change it on me, Daily Mail. Change it. Nothing's loading right. Okay, the article was actually about, that respiratory illness, the mycoplasma pneumonia in China. But forget about that. Disease X, post-COVID-19 pandemic could hit Americans hard. Disease X. Be scared. Be very scared. Okay? CDC, no cause for alarm over China respiratory illness. UK hit by surge and mysterious pneumonia cases. Outbreak sweeps USA and Europe, Switzerland, Sweden, Denmark. See surge in white lung syndrome. Hazmat suits return. Get scared, everybody. Get scared. Get real scared. New COVID variant. Okay. A new COVID variant spreading in the U.S. Experts explain risk or lack thereof. The new BA 286 variant, unofficially known as Parola, is taking hold in the United States. But don't you worry, okay? Don't worry. The public health risk posed by this variant is now compared with other circulating variants based on available limited evidence. Oh, well, they have to put in the limited evidence, because once they get an awful lot of evidence, well, the public health risk may rise to the occasion. Peter Hotez, scumbag, greedy motherfucker. Sorry, sometimes you just feel like cursing. Yeah. He says disease X is coming and will be worse than COVID. This was November 30th. November 30th. Well, CDC says no cause for alarm over spike in respiratory illness in China. No cause for alarm. Don't freak out. But we all know they have ways. They have ways of causing alarm. Right? Right. Yeah, I know, a lot of dogs are suddenly getting pneumonia. And I am not going to link to this, but you can. Click on the link in the chat. I can't. Even though health authorities in England are discussing those things, you know, that you put on your face. They're discussing it. Oh, too many characters for the link. Too many characters, so can't put in the link. But they're talking about how the face thing, the policy, it wasn't, can you see what I'm highlighting here? It wasn't, and it actually made things, but we'll just skip over that because, oh yeah, give me another community guideline strike for actually posting something that health authorities, the authorities, they're the experts speaking about that, but it will be MM. You know what MM is? Med miss. See all the frequencies in the manufactured cloud. Seeing an awful lot of tweets from those in the UK. This shit has been pumped into the atmosphere every single day since the end of the restrictions. Sure wish my neighbor would just let his dog in. Okay. So, yeah, New York. I heard one news report and they said that New York, up in the Lake Erie area, New York, 41 inches Now what you're looking at is, this is nor'easter. That's on the level of nor'easter. But now, no one mentions nor'easter.
More than 40 inches of snow blanketed the Northeast as the Arctic blast swept across the country. The National Weather Service said early Wednesday that the hardest hit areas will be south and southeast of Lake Erie, before the snow shifts north. Significant winter weather has hit communities across the hinterland Northeast this morning, causing at least one fatal road accident.
It's nothing that we can do. No. Oh my Lord. It's nothing we can do, man.
As predicted, more than 40 inches of snow fell over the past 2 days across parts of the Great Lakes and inland Northeast in the first significant lake effect snow of the season. The heaviest snowfall was recorded in Constableville, New York, where 42.7 inches of snow fell. All lake effect snow warnings expired at 7 a.m. Wednesday. By the afternoon, snow fell on the Great Lakes, with some wind or light snow showers flowing across the lakes in northwestern Pennsylvania and western New York. Heavy snow is not expected for the rest of Wednesday, but an inch or two of snow is still possible.
So I've said it, I don't know how many times. I think this weather is going to be brutal. This winter is going to be brutal. What are people saying? What do you mean? How could you not call the ASPCA? What are you talking about? Somebody else wants to talk about how I am doing? You don't want to know how I'm doing. You don't want to know. There's nothing you can do, and there's nothing I can do, so let's just move on.
Stuck in the middle of the road.
Australia.
Australia is facing heavy rains and prolonged winds. East Coast weather 12 people rescued from floodwaters as hundreds cry for help in NSW and Victoria. Dozens of homes flooded and riverine town of Dunaliquin effectively cut off as authorities warn of more wild weather.
Did you get that?
Yeah.
Where's it come from?
So,
The New South Wales State Emergency Service conducted 12 flood rescues on Wednesday, spread across 8 communities in the state's southeast. It responded to 1,056 calls statewide in the 24 hours to 5 a.m. Thursday, with 505 of these calls along the South Coast region. There were 269 calls in the Sydney region, 158 in the Hunter and Mid-North Coast, and 94 in the wider Riverina region.
bro, that's so much. Oh my god. That's so much. That's so many cars with so much. Oh my god. Oh my god.
The Bureau of Meteorology said thunderstorms were possible across the southeast and mideast of NSW on Thursday afternoon and evening, including Sydney and Canberra.
Hey guys, this is the current condition at my house. God hope you never have to see this at your house.
Oh man. Oh my god.
Around 135 millimeters of rain fell on the town in a 24-hour period, the wettest day of any month in 145 years, and the second highest daily rainfall recorded for any month in records since year 185. Other areas of the South Coast, including Sassafras, Maria, and Jervis Bay, were affected by more than 200 millimeters of rain, leading to localized flash flooding.
Unbelievable. Well, who controls the weather controls the world. Schmoody Cat, you're speaking as if you have facts and evidence that I have never, ever mentioned, okay? I could not sit by and allow any animal cruelty on my watch. I would have to contact every source I know, the police, animal welfare, every rescue group in my county. Okay. Okay. I don't know what to do with people. There's no evidence of animal cruelty. Important. I went to Groningen, I think that's Netherlands, in March, warning they may shut Groningen gas field. It's the biggest gas field in Europe, and now they shut it. This is in part to create famine by shutting down nitrogen fertilizer production. Now they're going to the USA. I tried to get this article. Same thing is happening. Okay, now it's not happening. Good. I was getting the same. Oh, yes, here it is. Oh, I don't even have ad blocker plus. I don't have any ad blocker on on my... Ah, good. Oh, no, it's not good. Okay, okay. Well, can't get
Demand
the
for
right
rare
article, but
earth
they're
minerals
going
is
to be doing it
growing
in
as the
United
U.S. and
States,
others around the world
based on,
transition to clean energy sources.
United
Tonight, my
Nation,
colleague Brett
the
Baird takes a look
orders.
at that demand and the environmental
So,
impact of extracting and manufacturing those elements.
here. You know, you're not my family, K-A-S-C-H. You're not my family. I don't even know you. I've never even seen you as a username. What kind of bullshit? Stop the bullshit. Get real. You are not my family. San Antonio, all of the migrants, more and more showing up.
The facility is max capacity at 707, and this is just overflow out here.
So all of those small white buses are for the migrants. This is the overload that they have to process these migrants. And San Antonio, Mexico, very few are coming from Mexico. Very few. We have an awful lot of people coming from, what, about 120 countries? Very few are Mexicans. This is Arizona, Lukeville. Watch as these guys in Mexico attempt to cut through the bollards in the wall in Lukeville, Arizona. They didn't get very far. Border Patrol showed up, but that's what the cartel is doing. The Panga boat lands on beach in Malibu. Did a little bit of further checking. This is a repeated occurrence with these boats coming into Malibu. And this just happened. I mean, it does look like, you know, they're storming the beaches of Normandy. I posted this on my channel. Wow. We're in big, big trouble. Big trouble. So here, just announced, Texas citizens will be calling for
into
the
our country.
resignation
All of this
of Abbott and Tony Gonzalez, the congressman, after this footage makes national news. Will they? Yeah, oh, come on. Are you kidding? There is so much going on, and people see it, and people know it, and they don't care. As long as they're comfortable, they don't do anything.
razor wire that you're hearing or you're seeing on the TV here. So to everybody out there who tells me that none of this is Greg Abbott's fault, what you're watching here is Border Patrol and National Guard placing ladders on the opposite side of these shipping containers so that they can actually help these migrants illegally break into our country. All of this razor wire that you're hearing or you're seeing on the TV here, it's all just for show. Look at, see, they're all climbing up in here. They're helping each other up. National Guard's putting a ladder over there for them. Sure, everything you're seeing from Greg Abbott is 100% show. We've had 7 million migrants plus. Another million more are going to probably cross over in the next 30 days just through Texas. So please tell me, what is this razor wire doing if we're letting everybody into the country? If the border wall is being built where you've seen that truck driving in the background over there, versus right here, this is the absolute busiest port, if not one of the busiest ports in America. So all of the destruction is coming from right here. So why? Please tell me why there is not a border wall right here. He's building the wall, right? Why is he not building the wall here? Why is Border Patrol and why is National Guard helping these migrants illegally break into our country? If we put all this barbed wire here, these fences, and we have 1,000 National Guardmen just right here in this part of it, please tell me if this is it right here, and this barbed wire does absolutely nothing to stop these people. All it does is corral them to a specific point. So Border Patrol and National Guard don't have to do any actual work. They don't have to patrol the border. This barbed wire is designed along with the CBP app to bring these migrants right to this one point. So then National Guard can quickly process them into this country, right? This is all about organization and keeping it hidden from you, the public. Greg Abbott has done absolutely nothing to shut down this border. So when you hear me talking about, I don't know, that this is all Greg Abbott's fault, maybe you should come down to the border and see what's happening firsthand. You see National Guard trying to stop any one of these people from illegally breaking into this country? Absolutely not. Guess what's in the back of their trucks? Water, food, supplies. All of these people are going to get insurance. They're going to get health care. They're going to get free transportation. A lot of them, every child you see, that's $2,200 a month of universal basic income. And we're also getting intel from people working inside these processing facilities that if these people play by the rules and they join the program, they can also get $2,200 a month. But that's not confirmed yet. But trust me, guys, if Greg Abbott wanted to shut down this border, he sure as hell could. And look no further than Tucker Carlson.
Low IQ lunatic who's running your state. State of Texas. How many Texans do you think are all on board with letting 7 million people cross into their state illegally? What percentage? Zero. I don't care what your race or national origin. Nobody is for that. That's insane. Has the governor of Texas done anything meaningful to stop that? No. The Republican governor? He's got a National Guard. He's the commander-in-chief of the National Guard. And it's Texas, so they're all large. And they have double-stack magazines in their sidearms.
And that's bullshit. The National Guard has been usurped by the Coast Guard and the U.S. Army, if we even have a U.S. Army anymore. Because really, our military is NATO. But governors do not have control over the National Guard anymore. But they love to present the bullshit, you know, oh, we still have control and government. Abbott is going to call in the National Guard. He doesn't have control. He's got to get approval from the Pentagon. We do not have a constitutional republic. We don't have a constitution. Everything has changed. And here, this, you know, these children, man, wow.
Let me ask you a question, America. Do these look like good people to you? Do these look like fathers that are innocent and going to protect these children? Let's take a look and see how these fucking savages treat children. Does that look like a sister who loves her brother? This kid is frozen. You can see how cold he is. He's freezing in this water. She slaps him. He can't even get off the thing. Now this man right here is going to just rinse out a dry rag on this freezing boy who's shaking. And now he's going to pick him up soaking wet and beat him? This is what's coming to America, folks. This is an absolute atrocity at every level. I know how we take care of this problem. I know exactly how you treat people like that. Let me know. Let me know what you think Mike Johnson should be doing right now. Do you think sending $15 billion to Israel is a top priority? These are the people that are coming to our country, folks. Wake up. Shout out to Auden Cabello. Follow him over on X. This footage is absolutely unbelievable. This is what they consider humanitarian aid. And guess what? See all those people there? Greg Abbott is going to do absolutely nothing. Not one of these people will be stopped. And you want to know what? These poor children on this raft, they're not going to be DNA tested. These people that are dragging these children into this country are not going to be DNA tested. And they will be able to traffic them right into America. And not one person is going to do anything to stop them. That is the state of Joe Biden America, folks, and the corrupt politicians in Washington, D.C. that are distracting you with Israel and Gaza and everything else so you're not looking at this right here because this is what destroys our country. Get ready for the summer of hell, folks. It is coming.
No one's doing anything to stop it. You have some people down there who are down there on a regular basis, putting out the videos for Americans. How many of you actually circulate any of this information? And Arizona again. Wow, man. So, the Lukeville port of entry is closing to traffic Monday in order to provide additional resources in response to the influx in illegal immigration in the Tucson sector. And look at all of these people. So many people are coming across, and they have to close down the port of entry to traffic so that they can process all of these people. So this is Lampedusa, Italy. Italy. Wow, there seems to be a lot of military-aged men there. People can't see that this is deliberate, that this is intentional to destroy all of our countries for that new world order, the Great Reset. New York.
They pushed them in.
Do catch the military guys walking on this bus with the migrants.
In the bus, they're going to send them to probably one of the shelters. Not probably, that's where they go, on one of the shelters. Kisa? Aisha? Kisa? Yeah. Kisa? Kisa? Professor. 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 I told him, don't do that, don't do that. Remember, pose. No, don't do that, man. Relax. Yeah. It's all guys, too, that's coming through. They gonna fill it all the way up. Around and wait for this. Something's about to go down. They're like, dang, he here every day. I ain't trying to get y'all no trouble. Y'all already got that look in y'all face. Like, I do videos, I'm just trying to document. You can't say nothing. I can't document it or what? The news does it. I told you, they're always giving me trouble, man. I'm gonna stay right here and watch. I came at the right time. They don't like Philly dumb. Cause I'll be on it. So he set the max until 65. So you guess what? Your boy Philly Dom is here.
What are the military men escorting all of these migrants for? Where are they going? We don't know. The Roosevelt Hotel, the Migrant Hotel, shipping out an awful lot of military-aged men. To where? To a camp, perhaps? All right, I'm going to link below to Philly Dom's video. You can watch the whole thing. And Philly Dom is on it. He's on it. Oh, that's a watch later. Shit. Let's go to his channel. And I will put his channel link in the chat. And thank God we have people like Philly Dom and all of those on the border who are documenting what is going on. We need to be circulating. We need to be circulating the information that they're putting out for us. That's our job. This here, San Antonio, Texas. Dozens of illegals sleeping outside of a shopping center.
Hernando RC here, citizen journalist here in San Antonio, Texas. I'm about to show you a clip here that I just recorded. Never seen this before here at the center. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Remember, I do this for God and country.
Vaya el que quiera hablar, que el maltrato que hagan en el albergue, que hable de una vez.
Primero. It's December 1, 2023. I'm at the Illegal Human Trafficking Center, and I'm here documenting what this shopping center has turned into at nighttime. You can see there are people sleeping outside the front of the stores here, dozens and dozens of people. This is new. I have not ever seen this before. There's a reason this is happening, and I'll explain to you once I come to the end of the line of these illegals outside of the shopping center here. You can see there are men, women. They've given these blankets from these NGOs. We have children here as well. They're all somber sleeping. This is what the Biden regime has brought us. ¿Qué hermano? ¿Cómo estás? This is what the Biden regime has brought us. This is a humanitarian crisis. However, this is a man-made humanitarian crisis. Let me repeat that. This is a man-made humanitarian crisis. And it's not stopping. It's actually picking up quickly. Okay, so we have a cricket. This is where they get their phones as well. We have a family unit here sleeping. arresting. This goes on and on and on. This is breaking news here. As my friend Brandon says, this is the reality of Texas. Unbelievable. Incredible footage here. American Red Cross, another NGO that has sucking on the titty of the government. Shame on the Red Cross. Don't donate to the Red Cross anymore. Incredible. It's 1 a.m. The weather, it's about 40 degrees. It hasn't gotten too cold yet, but that could change overnight. Buenos días. Disculpa la molesta. So here we are, coming towards the end of it. ¿Qué es los fines? Buenas.
All right, I'm going to link below to several of these tweets, but somebody asked for the Abbott video that I had. I think this is
from Greg Abbott.
And T. Lamb, someone once said to me to stop thinking. They said to you, you should stop reading. Yeah. I was told to stop thinking. Great Barrington, Massachusetts. People there are really, well, they love their indoctrination. They won't give it up. Justice Minister, Ireland, Ellen McEntee, the vast majority of people do want hate speech laws. Really?
Sir, yesterday you indicated that the only people who oppose your government's hate speech laws are, quote, fringe commentators. But of the thousands of replies to your own government's public consultations, 73% were negative. And according to the last poll done on the subject, 65% of people oppose such laws. So is it not, in fact, your government that's endorsing the fringe position here?
What I think is very clear, and this is coming from the significant amount of public consultation that we've had in the last 4 years, consultation that started back in 2018, is that there is a very clear group of minority people in this country who are simply targeted and who are being either victimized or harassed, assaulted, who are victims of hate speech and hate crime simply because of who they are. So that is very clear, that is based on fact, and that is also based on reports that we have.
But Minister, with request, that's not what I asked. But I'm sorry, that's not what I asked. And also, I've gone through every single one of the consultation responses. There were about 3,600 of them, and that's really not what they said. The vast majority of people said they don't want this. So where are you getting the idea that there's public outcry for this other than government-paid NGOs?
So that's incorrect to say that the vast majority of people don't want this. I think even if you were to listen to the debate last night in the Shannon, and certainly the debate in the Dáil, the vast majority of people do want this.
But those are politicians. We're talking about the general public. Where's the public outcry?
I can either answer the question or not. But I mean, what I'm basing this on is very clear factual evidence. If you speak to An Garda Síochána, there has been a 29% increase in hate crimes across.
Factual evidence. At a time. Post all of the information that you have. Post it yourself. How about it? This in the UK. So, listen, this man is, well, let's just say challenging a hotel manager. And this is in Pontins, Camber Sands. It's a small seaside town with a population of 1,300, and sources say they are now in talks with the Home Office to house up to 1,600 illegal migrants there. Okay, so somebody's exposing it, and he gets into it with the manager.
Do you think I want 1,600 fighting age men put in an holiday camp when there's nothing to do around here and just people to fucking murder?
Mate, I'm going to be honest to you. It's got nothing to fucking do with you because you.
Of course it has. What do you mean? The illegal immigration in this country's got everything to do with me. So when there's people being raped and murdered, and people messaging me about migrants.
Been raped and murdered by them?
Does that be my family? Yeah. This is what's wrong with the country. People like you don't give a fuck about what's going on.
I don't listen. I'm going to tell you straight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say that
Tell
about
me
me
straight.
again, mate, and you're going to end up with a fucking horrible lump.
Yeah, mate, really?
Yeah,
do it, mate. Do your best. Do your best. Do your fucking best. Hey, don't fucking come at me like I'm some mug, mate.
You what?
Listen, yeah? Listen.
So you watch yourself, mate.
Watch myself.
Yeah, watch your mouth.
Watch my mouth. Watch my mouth. Do you think I want 1,600...
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Could be hate speech. That's right. Politics is never having to say you're sorry. Mayorkas refuses to apologize to Del Rio agents. Still, over 2 years later, Mayorkas finally held a private meeting with the Border Patrol agents that he threw under the bus after they were falsely accused of whipping Haitian migrants near Del Rio, Texas. And it was complete and utter BS, a lie. Again, no apology. This is what people do. And it's not just government officials. Oh no, it ain't. Ordinary Americans. This is how we do life here. This is how we operate. A whole lot. If you don't, good. Good. But if you have an awareness of what's going on, and you keep that awareness and think about what you see in life, you can't argue that Americans are just mentally healthy and they can apologize and they can, and no, they can't. In fact, a lot double down on their lies. So we have discussed how Mayorkas was warned that the allegations were false, but still denounced the agents. Mayorkas failed to protect the agents even after the president promised that they would be punished before any investigation. Mayorkas joined the chorus of critics in condemning the agents as an example of systemic racism in the government, but he knew the allegations were false. He knew it. The media went into a frenzy despite a videotape showing that the story was clearly false. Wow. Do we need to fix ourselves? Damn straight. We sure do. Sure do. Big time. Let me just go through this so I can get off this window. It's Christmas time again. Put up the Christmas trees. Make sure that you're watching your kittens. Whoops. I guess Twitter is going to be loading up a lot of these videos. It is seriously cute. Alright, so yeah, the Twitter files, now the YouTube files, Biden White House, dictated censorship demands under misinformation canard. I have posted so many videos on these social media platforms are not private companies, and our government puts it out like they're private companies, and they have the face like Zuckerberg and now Elon Musk and all of them. And it's just a way for our government to violate our First Amendment right. Let the social media companies do it. Yeah. So, reveal. Oh, the Biden White House pressured the company to censor Americans spreading alleged misinformation related to COVID-19 and vaccines. My God, you're kidding? Wow, really? How many channels were just going down, down, down? My channel went down. Misinformation. Anyone who speaks the truth. FBI agent carjacked near Capitol Hill. Whoa. An FBI agent was carjacked? Yeah. An FBI employee's vehicle was carjacked near Capitol Hill. Jeez, what's going on? It's going on all over. And another one indicted for altered election results. Now, this is happening in so many states, but don't you worry. That election for 2020, it was dead on, straight, fair. Off with this window. All right. Just a few minutes, but this is Greg Manarino. Red alert. The banks, financial system, take action now before it's too late.
I want to talk about something here that we've covered before, but it's getting much worse faster, and it's going to affect everybody, probably you directly and also indirectly, whether or not you're in one of these institutions. What am I talking about? If you recall, over a year ago, I started raising the alarm bell with regard to what's happening with the financial sector, with the banks. Shortly after that, we watched the regional banks basically implode on themselves. And we're going to see that to a much larger degree moving forward. And it's going to affect the major banks as well. Let's just outline this real quick. And the reason why I want to talk about this again is it's not getting any better. There's no end in sight to this. It's going to affect millions and millions of people moving forward. And this is deliberate. Again, we're looking at a consolidation of the system. We have outlined this repeatedly in this video blog. But let's break this down a little bit further here. So I'm hoping you're going to take action, is why I am sitting here today with this. So we've been hearing a lot of talk lately, okay? Something that has been devoid from the mainstream media propaganda ministries about commercial real estate, and the exposure of the investment banks. This one thing, in my view, is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. We already understand, you and me, and we've covered this to the point of ridiculousness. No deposits, no loans, and no deals. What did we find out just this week? Pending home sales have now hit an historic low. We've made history. When people hear these kinds of things, it just kind of goes in one ear and out the other. But what's the ripple effect here? The ripple effect is pretty simple, as we have outlined already. The banks are not making loans, they're not making deals. And on top of that, they're seeing defaults skyrocket. Now, people hear that too. Oh, loan defaults are skyrocketing. You know, every type of loan. We're talking about credit cards, personal loans, auto loans, obviously mortgages as well. They just let it go in one ear and out the other. The fact of the matter is, this is going to directly affect the banking sector, and it's going to affect you. There's going to be massive bailouts coming. Just be bailouts, bail-ins. It's all going to be blamed on COVID. You all know that. Look, what have these banks done? And again, there's no responsibility anymore. No one's held to account. So what you and I should be clear on here is these institutions have loaded up on debt that is yielding nothing. And because of that, in this rising rate environment, these institutions have watched the value of their balance sheets disappear. Just poof, gone, and it's gone kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely. And then on top of that, again, you got the loan default issue here. No deals, no deposits are non-existent. The savings rate today is near a historic low. As a matter of fact, we're seeing a silent bank run go on. People are pulling their cash faster than ever out of these institutions, but you're not allowed to know that either. And then, of course, we have the overall issue of derivative exposure. I'm telling you people right here and right now, yet again, get out. Get out of the major investment banks, or just keep what you have to in them. Look for some other place to park your cash. A lot of people are asking me lately, and I've covered this too, but I'm getting some new subs, I guess. People are saying, hey, Greg, what about brokerages? Brokerages are not safe either. Actually, there's nowhere that is safe. Let me just say that too. People sometimes hear things that I don't say. I never ever said that credit unions are safe. I said they are safer. In theory, a brokerage account is insured up to $500,000. Everything is in theory here. Now, with regard to credit unions that I've been telling you for the longest time, they are safer because they don't have the exposure to derivatives. They do have massive exposure, obviously, to loans that are going bad right now. But this is really a replay to a much larger degree than the last financial crisis.
And that's all you need to know, really. We're going down, and we're going down fast. We are going down fast. I hope there's so many people who leave comments, and I have no clue what it means. Very distracting. So, yeah. I will post the link to Greg's video. You can listen to the remainder of it, but yeah, stocks soared today, or dollar plummeted. I mean, it is so rigged, it is so manipulated, and don't you wish that people could maybe begin to have adult conversation about what's going on? Marine veteran gets letter from VA saying he needs to pay back $100,000. A lot of our federal agencies make mistakes, and then they send the letters out. You need to pay us back because we overpaid you. They don't take responsibility for the mistakes that they make. They just want their money. This is going on an awful lot now.
Now, thousands of veterans are being served a bill because of government oversight. Thanks for joining us for 10 Tampa Bay at 6. I'm Dave Wagner.
And I'm Carolina Lead. Right now, many low-income veterans receiving pension payments from the VA are being hit with letters saying they need to pay back thousands and thousands of dollars.
10 Tampa Bay's Aaron Persician shares the story of a local Marine who reached out to 10 Tampa Bay saying he'll be underwater if forced to pay what he's told he owes.
Simplify. Patrick McFeely is one of the few and the proud. Outside his Sarasota County mobile home waves the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, alongside the flag he signed up to defend.
My partner passed away, so I came down here, and I love it down here.
The Marine Corps veteran makes ends meet with pension payments from the VA and, after he turned 62, Social Security.
It was like $2,400 a month.
Not a lot, but enough to get by. And things were fine until a few weeks ago when he got a letter in the mail.
Your entitlement to compensation and pension benefits has changed. As a result, you were paid $108,000 more than you were entitled to receive.
The Department of Veterans Affairs says McFeely was overpaid more than $100,000, and they will withhold money each month to pay back back his debt.
And so when I called and all I got to run around and saying that it's because I collected Social Security, and they didn't know it, and they said I didn't report it, but when it's documented that they know I was collecting Social Security at the time.
On top of that, the VA notified him nearly 10 years after he began collecting Social Security. Every year, overpayments to Pat ticked up roughly $10,000. Throughout, he had no idea there was any issue.
I'm hand to mouth, and I'm going to be 72 in January, so it's a little bit late to try to collect $108,000 from me.
So why did it take the VA so long to tell him he was being overpaid? In a statement, the department tells me from 2011 to 2022, 11 years, they were unable to reliably verify veterans' income due to data discrepancies. In 2022, when they were finally able to, they determined nearly 10,000 vets were overpaid. In many cases like McFeely's, it spanned years.
At the bottom of this letter, it says how to manage financial stress. So now they want me to contact a suicide hotline, which is crazy. They're the one that put me in this situation.
The VA says they recognize the hardship this may cause, and because of it, are pausing collection until they determine a path forward and pursue options for relief.
Well, what can be done is putting reforms in place to ensure that this just doesn't happen from the beginning.
Congressman Greg Stubbe, an Army veteran, has grilled Social Security over these overpayment issues and says the federal agencies are the ones at fault.
And this is a mistake that the agencies are making. Why is it on the onus of the service member who, through no fault of their own, didn't know they assumed these payments were correct, and now all of a sudden they got to cut a check for $120,000?
And he took the words out of McFeely's mouth, which will be hard to feed if the VA expects him to pay what they say he still owes after serving.
I don't think this is right the way they treat people, though. Too much red tape.
In Northport.
Red tape? Your government is screwing you, and they don't care that you gave your service to keep us free. They know that people who are collecting Social Security or VA benefits don't have savings. They just hit them with a 6-figure bill. You got to pay us back. We paid you too much. Do people need to start screaming? Together. We're in this together. But don't worry. Biden creates a new economic council on supply chains. Oh, God. Thank God. Okay, so supply chains, yeah. Don't we have enough government meddling and useless bureaucracy already? I guess not. The list of agencies involved in Biden's new announcement is stunning. More agencies? Just add it on. Government. More government. Bigger government. This is what totalitarian states do. U.S. manufacturing surveys signal stagflation, prices paid up as jobs drop. Oh, we have a very, 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 very poor economy. Manufacturing is so down, and we keep listening to the Biden administration claiming that the economy is just fabulous. Angry citizens are losing patience with monetary frameworks that enrich those closest to the money printer. Oh, really? I don't hear it. Anybody hear it? I don't hear any anger. Do you hear? No. People should be outraged. But that's not nice. IRS warns taxpayers that hiring of tax enforcers will ramp up soon. That's right. Increase in hiring of tax enforcers in the coming months. The agency's chief has revealed, putting taxpayers on higher alert as the IRS bolsters the ranks of its enforcement army. And it is an army. 83,000 new hires, armed. You think you live in that democracy? You think you live in the US of A that you lived in decades ago? You don't. You live in a totalitarian society where government will come armed to collect the taxes that you don't have the money to pay. Here, this one went to Five Guys. And 2 people, $42.
Somebody needs to tell me something. Me and hubby went to Five Guys. We got a cheeseburger. We got a regular cheeseburger for him with mushrooms added. So 2 cheeseburgers, 1 order of fries, and 2 shakes. And the bill came up to $42. You know what? I am all for eating very good food, paying good money for very good food. This was a Saturday afternoon. This was lunch. $42 for 2 people to have cheeseburgers, 1 order of fries, and 2 shakes. Let me tell you something. These businesses, y'all gonna fuck around and y'all gonna find out what it means to piss your consumers off to the point where they're gonna say, you know what? We're done. We are absolutely done. We're gonna start cooking at home. We're going to start just brown bagging lunch every day, because $42 for the mess that we received, and it ain't like that burger was the best burger I ever had. Five Guys is good. I'm not gonna lie, but it ain't $42 good. Come on now. Utterly ridiculous. Keep on businesses. Keep on playing with your consumers. Y'all gonna fuck around and find out.
Yep. Here's another one. People who are in their 30s and 40s and who do have a good career have moved back with their parents. We have elderly people who, in order to put food on the table, have to work at Walmart, even though they are 80 years old.
We have elderly who, in order to put food on the table, are having to go work at Walmart even though they're 80 years old. Does he realize that people who are in their 30s and 40s, who do have a job, who do have a good career, have moved back in with their parents because they can't afford the price of rent and they can't buy a home right now because the interest rates are so high and the prices of homes are still high? And then you add on property taxes, and then you add on home insurance. People can't afford that. And it's not as simple as go get a better job, go get a second job. It's not that simple. Telling a mom like me to go get a second job when I'm already working a full-time career and I already have a 2-hour commute every day, I don't have time for that. Okay, so what? I go get a second job and now I'm never with my children? How is that worth it? Oh, and now I have to go pay more daycare expenses? How is that worth it? Okay, we have a lot of people in this country, in this world, struggling, and the answer is not to bury your head in the sand and act like nothing's going on. Do not tell me the economy is booming. The economy is not booming when people are struggling the way they are. And when I mean people that have good jobs, who have good degrees, who have 2 incomes coming in their house, and the family is still struggling. That's not a booming economy.
Not a booming economy is exactly right. It's the acceptance of all of the lies. And we've got a lot of acceptors out there. You're more dangerous than the liar, because you're accepting the lies allows liars to continue lying. If you held people accountable for their lies, they might stop lying. But we didn't do that as Americans because that was confrontational. Now the lies continue, and it's obvious that they're lying about the economy. But when you hear people like this, a whole lot of Americans just don't care. And I just want to read Sherry's comment. Marty had to put her dog down. Spoke to Marty today, and she had to put Ruger down yesterday. She needs our love and prayers. Oh, Marty. I'm so sorry, and I know what it feels like, and it's hard, very hard. You gave Ruger a good life. So, it's very, very important. And you did everything that you could. So, I am very sorry. Now, how about houseless now? Now it's houseless. It's not homeless. It's houseless. Houseless? We've transitioned from homelessness to houselessness. Okay. But here in Honolulu,
National Homelessness Awareness Month is coming to an end, but the homeless crisis situation in Hawaii continues. As other cities across the U.S. are cracking down on homeless encampments, our Ariel Argel reports on how the city plans to address Honolulu's situation.
Leonard Coleman has been homeless for the past few years and has been waiting since then to get help from the city.
I mean, they do enough like with the feeding part like that, but like with the housing, it's kind of take a long time. Like me, myself, I've been out here like 3 years.
Coleman says the city has many programs that help. However, when it comes to actually providing housing, that is where they fall short. Currently, there is a little over 6,000 houseless individuals living statewide. 2/3 of that population is living on Oahu alone. And in the last year on Oahu, that number has increased by about 70 people. However, the total of the population is still a lot lower compared to how it was in 2020.
We do everything we can to come up with creative ways to get someone to be willing to engage the system. And then the other part is I constantly am analyzing our resources to service those decisions.
we just don't have the resources. Sorry. We don't have the resources to help Americans. Sorry. Ready for this? Starting in 2001, U.S. foreign assistance. Watch it grow. Sorry, Americans. You have to understand, foreign assistance is way more important than actually helping you. But you send in your income tax, you write out that check. And look at this. Black Friday is Dead Friday.
Here's the parking lot at Best Buy. I think these are all just the employees' cars.
Theft got so out of hand, they removed all the displays. All the camera displays are gone. They'll show them to you, but they're not out here on display. Look at all these TVs ready to sell. Today is Black Friday, and we'll be visiting some of the commonly known, frequently visited retail stores in this area to see how food traffic is inside the stores. But since 2020, things have changed, and now it's all online and it's all month long. There's nobody at the stores. Stores don't open early anymore. There were some stores that were opening way early, 5, 4 in the morning, and people were lining up to get in before the store opened. Some people will spend the night outside of the store, camping outside with tents, sleeping bags, chairs, and food. They used to spend the night right here on this sidewalk. And now there's nobody here. Let me show you. See anybody on this Black Friday? All this sidewalk used to be crowded with people after 2020, where crowds were not allowed. Things have changed a lot, and Black Friday now is a thing of the past. We're going to check out JCPenney on Black Friday to see how foot traffic is going inside the store. This is the inside of the JCPenney on Black Friday. Don't see anybody here. Nobody shopping. See? Black Friday deals, 60% off. Video shoppers are senior. The star of the holiday shopping. This deer is ready for it, but not the...
Look at that mall. So the area that he is in is Northern California, but I don't know the exact area. Let's see if I can see it. But he does a lot of these videos. San Francisco, I think Oakland as well. I don't see. But really, Black Friday? This is the mall? Okay, did you see anybody? That is telling you something. It's telling you that we're going down, and we are going down hard and fast. Now, this debate between a presidential candidate and another governor who he's pulled out, right? He didn't jump into the race, Newsom. He pulled out, if he did, but why are we having this debate? What the hell is this about? And all they did was argue and try to, degrade each other. Why? What was the purpose? I've never seen this before. You have presidential candidates, those debates go on, but now we're having a debate with a presidential candidate, DeSantis, with a governor who's not in the running. Everything has changed. Everything has changed. And I listened to a little bit of it. I'll play a little bit of it. But, okay.
There's one thing in closing that we have in common is neither of us will be the nominee for our party in 2024.
You have 6 or 7.
So Newsom is still in the running? This is very confusing to me because I did not think that Newsom was running against Biden and Kamala when he loves them so much.
$1 a gallon gas. How do they afford that? These are folks that are blue collar people.
You're going
to force everybody to buy an electric vehicle. How are they going to be able to afford electric vehicles?
I don't like the way you demean people. I don't like the way you demean the LGBTQ community. I don't like the way you demean and humiliate people you disagree with, Ron.
You have the freedom to defecate in public in California. You have the freedom to pitch a tent on Sunset Boulevard. You have the freedom to create a homeless encampment under a freeway and even light it on fire. You have the freedom to
have an open air drug market and use drugs. He thinks Biden and Harris have done a great job. He thinks the economy is working because of their policies for Americans, and they are not. And so what California represents is the Biden-Harris agenda on steroids.
Here's a guy who celebrated Bidenomics just this week, celebrating $28 million that came into your state because of the CHIPS and Science Act, one of the most significant economic plans since FDR. I'm proud of the work Biden and Harris have done.
Well, proud. So I got one, Newsom is running, and then another comment, Newsom is not running. But when did we have debates, even if he is running, when did we have debates with just one candidate from one team and against another candidate from another team? When? Never. I mean, is this just entertainment for people? And they love all of the conflict. Yay! You can't have a movie without conflict. This is how sick our flippin' society is. Yeah, the psychology of malignant narcissists, that's tomorrow. Alright, yeah.
I haven't slept in 6 weeks, and I'm in the West. You are cheering on the worst war crimes in my lifetime. We will never forgive you, ever. I live in one of the most propagandized countries in the world. One of the most pro-Israel propagandized countries in the world. The Israel lobby is the #1 funder of my government's political party. And the streets have been lined with millions of people who goddamn hate everything that you're doing and have been doing for the last 56 years. Do you think that that is going to suddenly turn around if you bomb a few more thousand Palestinian children? How many Palestinian children do you think need to be killed in order for the West to support what you're doing? Oh, well, you know, well, you've killed 100,000. Now, of course you're going to get our support. The United States, which is even worse with regards to its pro-Israel stance, 66% of their country entire now says, we do not support you. And if you look at the younger generation, it's even higher. It's like 8 in 10. That's before this happened. You're screwed. It's over. Stop murdering people. You absolute psychopaths.
Yeah. Psychopaths. Absolutely. And apparently a woman lit herself on fire. Atlanta, Georgia. There are tweets of this woman in flames, and it's, you know, draped in a Palestinian flag. Set themselves on fire with gasoline outside a building in Atlanta, Georgia, that houses the Israeli consulate.
Set themselves on fire outside of a Midtown office building. This happened outside of an office building on Spring Street, right near 14th Street and I-85. An Israeli consulate office is in that building. Let's go now to Channel 2's investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln, live at that location where Atlanta police just wrapped up a news conference there. Ashley, what have you learned?
Yeah, we've learned a lot about what happened this afternoon. Police and fire just wrapped up their news conference about 10 minutes ago. What happened all took place, as you mentioned, right here in front of this office building behind me where the Israeli consulate, their office is located. Now, we do know that individual who set themselves on fire, according to police, was wrapped in a Palestinian flag, according to law enforcement. Now, the individual standing in front outside of the office was attempting to to set themselves on fire.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that. But people do it. Hezbollah rejoins fight. Lebanese civilians killed after Gaza truce ends. More fighting. More fighting. Yeah. And this is who Israel, this is the, all right, I don't understand these videos. This is the Hamas army. They post videos on how, you know, the numbers of people, but so do the Israelis, so does the IDF, so does every military. But really? Okay, this is a pretty powerful military that you're going to see. Where did they get all the funding? Oh, right, from Israel and the United States. Wow, that's quite the propaganda piece. And you're right, T-Lam, let's get real. People didn't blink when they killed people in our own country, blatantly. Just 3 short years ago, and then 2 short years ago. And how many children have been, suddenly, no. There are so many agendas that are taking people out. This is outrageous, but so are all of the other the horror agendas that are taking place. The indifference is very alarming. I am glad to see an awful lot of people kind of waking up about the Zionist government. That's for sure. No, Zionism is very different from Judaism. Okay. And you're not anti-Semitic for being against Israel's Zionist government. Very tired of hearing that. But isn't this interesting? IDF insiders admit to deliberate civilian bombings and the artificial intelligence mass assassination factory in Gaza. Artificial intelligence. I will link below, and you can listen to the report on that. Artificial intelligence. And that's probably why Israeli officials are saying it's going to be a long war. expect for a year or more for this to be going on. A year or more. No ceasefire. And that pause. The pause was so, look, both sides violated the pause. Israel violated it first, but that's what Israel does. So, the pause, all right. Do you know how many people, since the pause was lifted, how many Palestinians died? Over 1,000. And it was just lifted. What was the point of it? What was the point of it? You need a ceasefire. You need for Palestinians to have their freedom. Okay, well, that's not going to happen. Clearly. Israel pounds southern Gaza as officials say long war expected for a year or more. It's a lot of people that will be. Well, they want a parking lot, right? I'm going to play. This was a very. This is Katie Halper. I'm putting the link in the chat. A very good interview, and I'm just going to play a few minutes. This is a woman, a Palestinian American, and let me see if, I'm sorry, all of this was up for last night, and I just couldn't do it. Susan Abul Hawa gets detained in Egypt. Activist, let's see if we have more, no, okay, writer. She's a writer. Mornings in Jenin, apparently, according to Katie Halper, it was a very good book. She's a Palestinian American writer and human rights activist. Okay. Just gonna play a few minutes. And oh my god, it was on my watch later list. Let's open this up. Videos. Okay. I'll put the link into her channel, and you can get this video by clicking on her channel link.
It's one doesn't have any words. I mean, I think a lot of us are just now finally just crashing and just sleeping out of just sheer need to sleep. But, so many of us just sort of were going to bed, just scrolling all day for news and just crying and just feeling helpless and just, going to protests and calling or me just going off to Egypt or people trying to and now, these hunger strikes, the whole world sees this. And yet there is this cabal of a ruling class that is managing all of our lives and is still sort of conducting this genocide and supporting it and cheering for it. And for what? So they can have another gas field? Right. Another little piece of land? That's how cheap our lives are. That's how cheap the lives of these beautiful little children who were buried alive. And I just, we're not going to have it anymore. The world isn't going to have it. The world is waking up thankfully. And for us Palestinians, you know, I know I speak for thousands when I say that we have renewed our commitment to commit our lives to our collective liberation.
Well, that's a great thing to end on. Unless you have, unless there's anything else you want to say. I just know that you're jet lagged and you've been so generous with your time.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate you having me on. Katie, I do want to say, though, we had a hearing yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Regarding the, and maybe you can just, sort of give the rundown of the logo with the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts wanting us to remove their logo from our website from the Palestine Rights Festival, even though they gave us a $10,000 grant for Palestine Rights Press to publish an anthology. But then following some pressure from Zionist organizations, including the ADL and Mr. Greenblatt, they told us to take the logo down. Of course, I refused, and I said, "Look, if you're going to be racist, own your racism." And they took us to court, and we had a hearing yesterday. And even though all the merits of law were on our side, and it should have been a clear, open and closed case, that for us to just kind of walk out victorious, we got a Zionist judge who basically said, well, given the current political climate, I can understand why they don't want to be associated with Palestinians.
That's a legal reasoning.
I mean, we're waiting to get the full transcript but that's basically what she said. She said, given and they even themselves said it was definitely, they admitted that it was political and had nothing, and really nothing that they actually put in the complaint. But yeah, so I mean, it's the climate in this country is so toxic for us as well. It's like our families and friends back home are getting slaughtered in the most horrific ways. And then here in this country, the hate that is promulgated and the silencing, the more extreme cases are the 6-year-old who was stabbed and the students who were just shot, and the woman who was spitting on Palestinian protesters, and a lot of these hate crimes that are happening in the United States, but it's magnified by this, relentless silencing through social media algorithms, through cancellation of our events, through the demonization of us, through moments like this when a government-funded arts organization is attacking us, a Palestinian literature festival, and a judge who says, well, that's perfectly legitimate because, why would the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts want to be associated with Palestinians in the current, political climate? It's like
disgusting.
It's kind of open season on Palestinians, and we all feel it. It feels like there's really no safe place in the world for us.
And then you have people, this is not comparable at all, obviously, to the killing of Palestinians. But then you have people like Susan Sarandon getting dropped, and she'll be fine. But what is that telling people? Of course, they're going to be, reluctant to speak on behalf or in solidarity with Palestinians.
It's just hard to speak the truth today. Whether you're a Jew, whether you're a Palestinian, whether you're a Gentile, like myself, whether. I mean, people are losing their jobs, losing their lives, and it comes from an awful lot of the propaganda that you hear being spewed out of government officials who use mainstream media as their propagandists. So,
Israel's right to defense. Yes, Israel has the right to defend itself. Every country does. But Israel has no right to impose an occupation on people. Now look, I was born in Hungary. In 1956, when I was 13, studying for Bar Mitzvah, there was the Great Hungarian Revolution against Soviet occupation. And it was after that revolution that we became refugees and came to Canada. Now, did Russia have the right to defend itself against the Hungarian revolutionaries? You know, so, and mostly when we talk about Israel's right of defense, we're taking isolated Palestinian actions, but we're not saying that this population also has the right to defend against the occupation. I'm not justifying the terrible events of October the 7th. I'm talking in the absence of historical awareness. It all just looks like Israel defending itself. But against whom? Against the population that has been massacring in a number of thousands for 80 years and taking their lands and destroying their homes and jailing their children and torturing them. That's the history. Now, unless we know that, it all looks like this poor little country trying to defend itself. But against whom? Against people it's been occupying and displacing for 80 years. That's the history, as Israeli historians have shown. I don't make this stuff up. I wish it wasn't true. I wish I could believe in the dream of the Jewish state. I love that dream. Except I found out at what price, at what nightmare that imposed on the Palestinians.
yeah. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. It just goes on and on.
وضع سيء، الماء مرقت علينا، الشتاء دخل علينا، احترنا ايش نعمل؟ صرنا نحاول نفع.
So what this elderly woman is saying, and I'll read it, the situation is bad. The water came on us, the rain fell on us, we didn't know what to do. Let me slow it down just a little.
الماء مرقت علينا، الشتاء دخل علينا، احترنا ايش نعمل؟
The situation is bad. Now we're wrapping ourselves in blankets that we find and cover ourselves. It means we are suffering a great, great deal. No one is standing with us, the Arab people, not one. They're watching us, watching us. We're sitting at the hospital, we're thrown on the street next to the hospital. We watched the bombs and the shooting. Yesterday we were all hit, we started running, unknowing. There is neither a loaf of bread nor water, little water. Take it with me everywhere. There's no bread to eat. My daughter from the morning passed by all the tents, I swear, like you. We don't. She can't find anything to eat, but the Arabs let the Arab people watch us and keep watching and be satisfied. Let them be satisfied. What's happening with us? We are here enduring battles since 1948. I sleep in the intensive care from the cold. Yesterday I got out from cardiac care in the attack. I got out yesterday. Can't find the treatment to buy what she needs. I swear I can't get it. I was told I'm not allowed to stop the treatment, not allowed to stop the heart medicine. I have a heart attack, and the doctor told me, God saved you. Praise be to God. He told me the cause was the cold and poor nutrition. The poor nutrition. I need food. Where do I get food? When I want to eat and I can't find the cure. Thank God. Tell me about today. Today, are you afraid that the catastrophe of 48 will happen again? It's been repeated. Do you accept that you are? Do you accept that you are? It's been repeated. Do you accept that you are, to remain displaced? No. We hope that today, before tomorrow, we will return to our homes. Our homes were destroyed. The house collapsed and fell. My daughter, Fadwa, she went to get us a gas canister. We don't have any. In the whole kitchen, she didn't find anything. Spare change from the bed, but the rubble was on the mattress. She couldn't bring a blanket. She didn't find one. The house was bombed. Bombing the house means the occupation bombed the house. But it bombed. But did it bomb the will and determination? That was what the reporter asked her. All right, your house is gone. You're living on the street. You need heart medicine. You have poor nutrition. You can't find bread. You have just a tiny bit of water. But how about that will and determination? How about your resilience? There's something very sick and twisted with that. This is Bisan from Gaza.
Here trying to find anything to take it back to the shelter. Since it's a truce, it's not a ceasefire. So people were shocked because they did not know that their homes, their streets, everything was bombed and was destroyed.
ايش صار في الدار؟
دمار والله ما عرفنا نخش بس متأملة يعني والله دا قلنا غير الدمار اللي تدور كلها والثلاجات والغسالات وكل الدنيا دمرت والله ما طلعت غير حتى الزيتون من محدود نص ما فيش فيه أشياء الدولابين مكسرات كلها بعض.
تعال شوف الجوره في المنبه في الدار كلها الدار ما لهاش اصل. ايش الصواريخ هذه؟ جوره 20 متر حوالي في الارض. ما بدنا الهدنه على اي فائده ما بدنا اياها. احنا بدنا شيء يريحونا مش كل 10 سنين 8 سنين كل حين واحنا معمرين. طب انا علي ديون من 2014 من ورا الدور من ورا الحروب وما استفدناش ولا اي شيء من اي بني ادم وبرجع نفس العمليه وعمرنا امزق واحسن وهي نهدد. والله لو في خير للهدنه اللي انا مش طالع من بلادي والله ما طالع. لو تتقلب كمان وابي استشهد غاد اختيار. شايفه؟ يا عم الموت هنا ولا ندلبر ندلينا برا. توكل على الله. كافي. توكل على الله تعال امشي اللي قدام بس عملت اتصالات. بس راسك من هنا. والله علينا من الدور من 2014 اليوم، احنا كل سنه كل حرب ننضرب. كل حرب لازم ننضرب. هذا الدار الثاني الحمد لله رب العالمين. معدات عدمونا خبز على الفرع خبزناه.
خبزتوا اليوم هذا؟
والله
في الدار المقصوفة هذه؟
هي برا هناك هي الخبز الصاج.
في 2014 انهدم بيتي وانقصف البيت والحمد لله كليته راح. رحت بنيته من اول وجديد ورحت في 2021 برضه كمان انقصف ورحت بنيته كمان مره والحمد لله وان شاء الله في 2023 حبنيه كمان يعني هو انقصف وحبنيه كمان مره ان شاء الله وثاني وثالث ومش حنطلع من البلد حنضلنا في بلادنا ان شاء الله باذن الله.
People here around me, children, women, trying to find their stuff. I'm talking about clothes, flowers, some oil, some fuel. People are trying to find anything to go back to the shelters after the truce.
خلاص فيش نصيب. شو هذا؟
طحين، برميل الطحين كله بارود
انا كنت بدي اشيله. انت كنت متأملة تلاقي الطحين
عشان اوزعه على اهل غزة. اجوني يشتروا مني كيس طحين قال لي خالتي لو ب300 قلت والله يا خالتي لو عندي بديك اياه ببلاش. ناوية اعجن واخبز على الصاج وعلى الفرن واطعم اللي حاب ياكل. يعني كل شباب غزة كلهم اهلنا واولادنا وبناتنا. يعني والله لو بيتي عامر احطهم جوات بيت واحط اولادي في حضني.
شباب من غزة قاعدين برضه في المنطقة.
بعد ما منطقة كانت جنة أصبحت خرابة. هذه من الأغراض اللي ظل من البيت. ما ظلش شيء في البيت. احنا نطرس في دارنا بس عندنا اخواننا في الشمال هذول اللي انخرب بيتهم ونزلوا اطفال تحت الركام. الله يعين الناس اللي نايمه في الشوارع في خان يونس، الشوارع نايمه فامطار تنزل عليهم. احنا بالامل ان فلسطين تستقل وينزح عنها هذا الاحتلال الغاشم.
I'll put the link in. That's just half the video. A lot of destruction. And there are many people who are Christian having something to say about the Christians.
My name is Morgan Cooper. I'm an American Christian living in the West Bank of occupied Palestine. I live with my Palestinian Christian husband and my 2 little children who go to the Quaker school and the Catholic nursery. I was raised in the Protestant church. I went to Point Loma Nazarene University, and my parents are Salvation Army pastors and officers. As I look around at the current situation in Palestine and the 75 years since the Nakba of dispossession and basic human rights being violated by the Israeli military and state, I have one simple question that I am confronted with. It is a question that I used to ask as a child and tried to live by. And I think that today the American church needs to stop trying to interpret the book of Revelations and start focusing on Jesus. Here's my question to the American church. What would Jesus do? Would Jesus say, no, we only value this one group of lives and we're going to demolish and massacre the rest of the lives? Would he really strip people of their humanity? Jesus was concerned with and loved on and took care of the most marginalized people in his society. And yet you all turn a blind eye to the massacres of the civilian population of Gaza and you justify it. So ask yourselves in your heart of hearts, what would Jesus do? Because I cannot imagine that someone who
Yeah, what would Jesus do? What would Jesus do? A whole lot of Christians just don't ask that question. It's amazing because they don't want to do what Jesus would do. So I'm going to link below to this speech by Rabbi Joshua Heschel. This speech, 1963, entitled Religion and Race. It's still pertinent today. Still. Racism is Satanism, unmitigated evil. What is an idol? Any God who is mine but not yours. Any God concerned with me but not with you is an idol. Faith in God is not simply an afterlife insurance policy. Racial or religious bigotry must be recognized for what it is. Satanism, blasphemy. And how many disasters do we have to go through in order to realize that all of humanity has a stake in the liberty of one person? Whenever one person is offended, we are all hurt. What begins as inequality of some inevitably ends as inequality of all. So, I didn't get to it, but I will tomorrow. There is an evil which most of us condone and are even guilty of. Indifference. Indifference to evil. We remain neutral, impartial, and not easily moved by the wrongs done unto other people Indifference to evil is more insidious than evil itself. It is more universal, more contagious, more dangerous. A silent justification, it makes possible an evil erupting as an exception, becoming the rule and being, in turn, accepted. Yeah. And unfortunately, there's an awful lot of people who are indifferent, claiming to care. And I'm not talking about just what's happening with the Palestinians. I'm talking about all of these agendas that are literally snuffing out life. And unfortunately, it takes the individual to do a lot of work to heal their own souls, to root out the indifference, and to start to care genuinely. And that's the problem. An awful lot of people have no interest in doing that work. They let evil flourish and pretend the self-deception. Oh, the Bible talks about that. Root it out, that self-deception, because that's the most dangerous deception that you got going. Deceiving oneself into believing they're good. We all have to look in the mirror. Do that work, that individual work, to get ourselves right. Live honestly, speak honestly. But a whole lot of people who don't do that believe they do it. So they have to do that work. Self-examination, self-reflection. Outside of that, nothing's going to change. Not a thing. Nada. So, thank you for showing up. Hope to see you tomorrow night. Good night and good luck.